unconventional. Go ahead, and implement your ideas, your notions. Put them in motion like the wavy funky threads have spoken to you. So listen up loud and clear. This is a word you must be aware of. What you gonna do? Put it in your life too. Now that's the meaning of the line.
All right, we back Facebook. I guess it's one of those things we're rolling with for now. D-Lobby, I know we could do that one. Okay, we'll do it all right. All right, so happy birthdays to all of you out there. 11th October. Rame Vanessa Hagen say Accra round say Ajiman Nana Kumi Buamankwa Aduma Oforimante, and of course to you Farouk Isaka. For those of you who had your birthdays between Monday and today, let's roll with that one. Yvonne Crow over in Boston, happy birthday to you. May, your daughter Gloria Mami Shira Sechi Sam, happy birthday to you. Chloe Quaid's birthday, enjoy the week. My man Sola Kenneth Sako dear. Presecting, so happy birthday to you. Abaketo Anda, happy birthday, happy birthday. Payne Atakesi, happy birthday. Sibik Bugri, my man Sibik, how are you? David Ankum, you still owe me maze breaks from way back, man. But it's okay, David Ankum, happy birthday to you. Bio, Herman's Mensa, happy birthday to you. Ego Banga, have a wonderful day, Ego. And of course, Chinwe, happy belated birthday, Chinwe. Don't blame me, blame him, ma. Baby, Ernestina Pia, happy birthday. Nino Yosute, that's my brother right there, over in Kent, happy birthday. Fiona Hardcastle, from your mom and everybody who knows you, happy birthday, Fiona. Francis Achampon and the London crew, happy birthday to you. Anne Shirley upon Holy Coatings, oh, Anne Shirley, happy birthday. Selom Luthor, long time no see. Selom, happy birthday. And of course you, Mabel Akubanesh, doing good things over in Accra, Ghana. Mabel, happy birthday. And Dela Sime, Dela, happy birthday. The wedding anniversary is continuing in the same vein. It's 23 years of marriage today. Elvis and Stella Free Ankara. Elvis and Stella, congratulations. And of course, you, Abuna Santua Krobia, 16 years together. God bless you all. Birthdays and anniversaries brought to you by kind courtesy of Smart Travel. You're heading to Ghana in December, you don't have a ticket yet, check it out. SmartTravelInc.com is the only place to get all them deals, man. Don't ask me how I paid that fare and flew in business class. The only people who can hook you up, trust me on that one, is Smart Travel Inc. So hit them on the website or give them a call, 301-270-2045, 571-659-2268. Smart Travel it is when it comes to travel across Africa. Pink for Africa weekend. We'll be talking fest to Chewa Century pretty soon.
Now what's the meaning of the line? Well, it's like dreaming of your goals, ambitions. I'm feeling free. I'm on this mission to achieve. What's in your mind's eye? This is what you believe you should gain. Satisfaction become a shining example. A test as a sample of a new race that has ample supply positivity. Well, like electricity, you see a clear way with no ambiguity, don't you know? Go ahead, and implement your ideas, your notions. Put them in motion like the wavy funky threads have spoken to you. So listen up loud and clear. This is a word you must be aware of. What you gonna do? Put it in your life too. Now that's the meaning of the line.
Girl,
right. So today we'll be doing a whole lot more of conversation as we delve into Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Man, hitting us more than anything else at the moment. And so we'll be talking to three wonderful individuals. Jay Weezy first up, and more time with Jules on Pink for Africa. And then, of course, Dr. KB at some point in time. You can see the 90s girl in the background herself, Jay Weezy. I wish we were talking music. In fact, if you know, think about those three: Jay Weezy, Jules, Osebi. They all love music. Cynthia Kwaku is also with you. We'll get them all live, man. And they all love music, man. So we'll talk more music and see. All right, so let's get across to Che Weezy right now and see if I can get a few words across. Hello, Chewa.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good. And you? How are you?
Well, I'm okay. You know, we're not talking styling today, so it's cool. We'll do what we can.
I know.
Well, anytime we're together, it's all about music and entertainment and having fun. And today, the theme is a little different, but let's delve further into the conversation. I can see you're wearing your pink, and of course, we all know it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and some of us might know a little bit of your story, but I'll go briefly into that. If you could go right from beginning. How long have you had it, and how did you find out?
I've been a survivor for the past 18 years. I found mine in a very weird way. I had some balls and in my armpit. I had like 5 balls in my armpit, and these balls stayed for a very long time. All methods of medication didn't make it budge. Orthodox, traditional. I mean, we tried everything, and it didn't budge. And whilst I was like playing around with the balls in my arm, under my armpit, I realized that I had how do you call it? Like I could feel a little ball in my breast. Before I thought it was just something like a nerve or something that had been pulled because of the balls under my armpit. But then it turned out to be something else. It turned out to be cancer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I actually got mine. I detected it from getting the balls under my arm.
Oh, wow. I'm sure we'll talk later with Jules and KB and find out all about symptoms and all that. But how did you feel when you heard that confirmation, when you heard those words that you have cancer?
Funny enough, when I, even though I detected there was a lump in my breast, I really didn't pay any attention to it because I really didn't know much about cancer at that time. 18 years ago, how many people knew about cancer? Cancer wasn't something that was actually discussed. Our children even things about cancer at that time, nobody really knew much about cancer. What happened? I got it, and when you hear about cancer, that I had cancer, the first thing that I thought was that I was going to die, and that was it. I felt like it was just a death sentence to me because I was just going to die. That was how I felt.
Wow, it's been 18 years, and of course that sentence hasn't come. You're live and you're rolling on. What your journey has been. What has your journey been like? And where do you find the strength to fight it each and every day? Oh, it's frozen? Technology. It happens. I gotta get the best of you. All right. We'll try and get the best of her later. But of course, she was telling us about the absolute best of herself. The struggle with breast cancer over the past 18 years. And she's as strong as anything else. Che Weezy. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, man. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month with us right here on Music for a Quarantine Feed. I have a lot of female viewers on this show, so I thought it was appropriate for us to do a little something like that today. And it does attack men as well. We'll talk about that later.
Small wonder you would hesitate to lay your love on me. What a sensation, I can tell just how happy we could be. I gotta get the best of you. I gotta get the best of you now, baby. I gotta get the best of you. I gotta get the best of you, my baby. A very special invitation from you, right back at you, baby. What an occasion, you and me, we could be the top attraction. All alone I consider the goodness of your loving, a manifestation of giving love has total satisfaction. Whoa, I gotta get the best of you. I gotta get the best of you.
All right, we got Che Weezy back on
I gotta get
technology, man.
Yeah.
But it's all good. The most important thing is we
I
can
don't know
still
what
see you,
happened.
we can hear you.
Okay. Where
Going
do
back
we
to-
get to? Because I don't know where I went off.
I asked the question, what your journey has been like, and where do you find the strength to fight it?
It's been 18 years now, and I would say that the first 15 years was quite easy. The first 15 years, I can actually say that when I was diagnosed and I was told that I had breast cancer, I cried for 2 weeks continuous, but after 2 weeks, I gained the courage. I made up my mind what I wanted to do, and I opted for a lumpectomy. A lumpectomy was to save the breast, to take the affected areas out of the breast and conserve the breast. And that's what I opted to do. And then I did chemotherapy and I did radiation. Yeah, my hair came off. And then I went on to medication, how do you call it, hormonal therapy medication.
Wow.
And first 15 years was quite easy. I'm not too sure whether it's because I was able to conserve my breast or what. I'm not too sure about that, because I actually didn't sprint. Apart from the fact that I lost my hair, yes, within 6 months, my hair was grown back. My nails, within 6 months, I was back to normal. In fact, I'll say that I even look prettier because I think the cancer, the chemo killed all the bad cells inside me, and then I came out. I came out much lovelier. All the spots on my face were gone. I came out lovelier. I must say that myself. The first 15 years was quite okay. I was young. I was only 38 at that time, and I actually didn't change my lifestyle that much.
Okay.
When I came back to Ghana, people would say I was lying because they were expecting me to be, I don't know what they were expecting for me, but a lot of people thought I didn't really have cancer because I was going out, I was still partying, I was all over the place. I'm a social person, and I like to socialize, I like to do all kinds, I like to party.
Right.
So people didn't understand how I could actually have cancer and still do that. I didn't really change my lifestyle that much. I must say that it was really after 15 years. After 15 years, it came back. The cancer came back, and this time it came back with a wicked bang. It came into the other breast. Oh. The first time was the left breast, and then after 15 years, it decided to come into the right breast. And this time, it came with all kinds of cancers. The first one was just one type of cancer. I had ER positive, which is estrogen positive. That's what I had. And even though it was invasive, it was like a little bit scattered in the breast. It was quite manageable. And I did my lymph nodes. They took my lymph nodes out. Happened to my arm 10 to the first 15 years. Then after 15 years, it came back. And then this time, it came back with all kinds of cancers, different kinds of cancers in one breast. The sort of cancer that somebody would say that you are even cursed, or the indigenous people say that when they are too withdraw, like, you've been cut. HER2, I had estrogen positive, I have PR. I mean, all sort of cancers. And they have this thing that they call like 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Yeah. So I had some around like between 12 and 1 o'clock. I had some between 3 and something o'clock. I had all over. I had to cut the breast. I had to do a mastectomy. Oh. And I guess this time going also, I kind of listened to people a little bit. If you go cut your breast, So I got there, and this is me after the doctor couldn't preserve this breast. I mean, the latest cancer breast, and that they had to cut it because if they did a lumpectomy, it still wouldn't even look good anyway, because they had to go to so many different places to cut out the affected areas. And so I opted to go for a total mastectomy. And around that time, I think for 15 years, I'd actually learned a lot about breast cancer. And I wouldn't say I was taking the skin with that, but I think I had gotten over the fear and the stigma and not feeling good about yourself and everything without the breast and all that. So I actually went in there, and when the doctor said to me that they had to cut the right breast, I said to them that, you know what, cut the left one as well. Okay. And they were like, oh, no, you don't really have to cut the left one. And I'm like, you know what? It was in the left breast, then it came into the right breast. I'm just tired of this breast business. Right.
Better safe than sorry.
Let's just cut the two. And the funny thing is that they actually did tell me that the fact that you cut your breast doesn't mean that you cannot get cancer again, because there could be some cancer cell hidden somewhere, because you can't cut the whole breast off. You can't cut the whole breast off. There'll be something. There's something left in there, but of course, your chances of getting it again is much smaller than.
Did you ever do the BRCA gene test?
Come again?
Did you ever do the BRCA gene test? What's going on? No, it's not.
Yes, I did. The first time I got it, I was grade 3, and my lymph nodes were also grade 3. So people were amazed that the doctor actually even gave me the option to do a lumpectomy. But I guess the doctor did that because when he told me I had cancer, it was like a funeral in his office. Yeah. I just flown in from Ghana, and I'd gone straight to the hospital, and I didn't know much about cancer. I just had my son, who was only 10 years old at that time, and he telling me that I had cancer. I mean, it was like a funeral in his office. In fact, I cried to the extent that the nurses and the doctor himself cried. That was how bad it was. So
man, I mean,
he gave me.
Trust me, sitting so many miles away from you, just listening to you speak, I'm just amazed and admiring your strength.
I know.
I can't imagine how the first 15 years you say were easy, but
the first 15 years, they were so easy.
I hope. 3 years.
They were not that easy in the sense that the only part that wasn't easy about it was a time wasting, because I always had to make it a point to go for my checkups every year, and most of the time I had to travel out of the country. So it was time wasting, waste of my money as well. But apart from that, and I had related illnesses attached to it, like my bones will ache. You see me at parties, but believe me, before I go to parties, I take serious painkillers and I go and jam. So when I go to parties, I really jam, because the painkillers that I've taken before I get to the party.
The party
I don't
better
wait.
be worth it.
Oh yeah. The party better be worth my while.
Well,
So I go and jam, and I don't sit down. I don't go to a nap conference when I go to a party.
At all.
I'm a party person, and
Yep. I see you
so
on the dance floor.
exactly, yeah.
Well,
But then I'll say that from the 15th to the 18th year till now, like I said, it came back. It was horrible. I had to go through 4 surgeries within a span of 11 months. It was tough. It was really tough. I nearly gave up, but I still, sometimes I give up, and then sometimes I'm encouraged again. I encourage myself. But most of the time I encourage myself. But it's just human that sometimes, you feel down sometimes, and then you ask yourself, why me? And then you answer your own self that why not you? Who else should it be? There should be a reason why you are going through this. And if you're a Christian, and I am one, and there's this saying that goes that God doesn't give you anything that he doesn't believe that you can carry. So that's what I put in my mind, that whatever it is that is being thrown at me, it's because God knows that I can carry it. And then he gives me the willpower to carry it. So I do carry it. Sometimes, yes, I recall and then I cry and then, I'm sad. But on the average, and most of the time, I'm actually a happy person.
Wow, you are way stronger than I can ever be. And we appreciate you for all that. Thank you for the conversation. I know we could go on and on and on. Juliet, I know we will get to you next, but I have to let you say something to Chewa.
Che.
Oh, she's there. Juliet, I know.
Sweetheart, I love you so much. Just continue to stay in that positive place. Listen, I don't know anything else about you if it's not happy and go lucky. So whatever it is, whatever the load is, we're gonna get through it together. I'm on my knees every night praying for you. God has got you in a way that is phenomenal. And every medicine you put in your body is gonna go to do the work, is gonna go to really every energy we're gonna send your way is there to uplift you and to let you know God has got you. His hands is on you big time, my sister.
Amen.
Big time.
Amen.
Okay? Just stay smiling. We got you. If you ever need to talk, you know where to find me. I don't care what time it is. I will keep that phone on just so you can call me, please.
I know.
Okay? Love
Echo.
you, love you, love you, love you.
Echo.
Yes, darling, I'm right here.
Yeah, she's going on because I don't know if you know that, and everybody knows that I'm not shy to talk about my business, really, because if I don't talk about my business, Juliet is doing a fantastic job. She's got Pink for Africa. She does all kinds of things. And the way I do my things is just let people know that this is what I'm going through. And even though I'm going through all these things, there's still life. It's never over till it's over, till I drop dead. And unfortunately, like I said, 15 to 18 years, just how many months ago, 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with cancer of the lungs and then cancer of the spine. So unfortunately, the cancer has metastasized into my lungs and my spine. And then obviously, we all know that when it happens that way, it's a grade 4. But hey, grade 4, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, we're still moving on. It's never over till it's over. Yep.
It is definitely not over. It is definitely not over, Che. It is definitely not over.
So we're fighting on. We're still going to fight on, yeah. So I need all of you, your prayers. When you are booking, just remember to say a prayer for me.
You are everything, and you know that. Thank you so much, Chewa.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll continue with this one when we bring Juliet on. We'll continuously praying for you. I know you're strong, and you definitely need the help from all of us. And so whatever we can do to make you feel better, we will do. Music has always been your thing. and we'll use that to put a smile on your face for the next couple of minutes. So thank you so much. God bless you. And yeah, I'll see you with the Starling family. We'll talk on the forum pretty soon.
All right. Okay.
All right then. Thank
God
you.
bless
God
you
bless
too.
you.
Thanks.
Right.
Bye.
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 I would take the stars out of the sky for you. Stop the rain from falling if you ask me to. I'd do anything for you, your wish is my command. I could move a mountain when your hand is in my hand. Ooh, words could not express how much you mean to me. There must be some other way to make you see. If it takes my heart and soul, you know I'd pay the price. Everything that I possess, I'd gladly sacrifice. Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, oh, baby. To you, I guess I'm just a clown who picks you up inside me down. Oh, baby, oh, baby. Give me just a taste of love to build my hopes upon. You know you've got the power, girl, to keep me holding on. So now you've got the best of me. Come on and take the rest of me, oh baby.
33 minutes after 5, right here, Music for Your Quarantine Feet. Talking to Che Weezy, huge fan of Music for Your Quarantine Feet and a breast cancer survivor. And not exactly the conclusion I was expecting. Took me off guard, and I'm sorry if my emotions took over as well. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the month of October. And we're taking it next with Juliet Mills Lutra in the house. We're talking to Julia, we're talking to Pink for Africa. And I know it is a music show. I just hope that you understand today if we do a little bit more talk than normal as we try to stay healthy, using the medium to reach out to as many of you as possible. God bless. Jules will be up next. Let's conclude with this one.
Though you're close to me, we seem so far apart. Maybe given time, you'll have a change of heart. If it takes forever, girl, then I'm prepared to wait. The day you give your love to me won't be a day too late. Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, oh, baby. To you, I guess I'm just a clown who picks you up inside me down. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, give me just a taste of love to build my hopes upon. You know you've got the power, girl, to keep me holding on. So now you've got the best of me. Come on and take the rest of me, oh, baby. Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Yes, I need you, baby. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, you are everything to oh, me. Baby, can't you see? You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Yes, I need you, baby. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby.
The text messages are all the same. For sure, she made me cry. Hey, Che Weezy would not like that. So put a smile on your face, get on your knees and say a prayer as we get next to Pink for Africa.
It feels so good to see you again. Since the time I went away, I missed your loving every day. Oh, lady, you know the way. How I like to play, yeah. Music and candlelight. Soon after we'll take flight, yeah. Sailing through the sky. Oh, we're sailing till we reach our home. I love it. Ooh, I just love it. Yeah. Come on. Then we'll start again. Oh, girl, we'll start again. Oh, baby, don't let it go. So come and take my hand. Let this journey begin. Hold on me. Feel it, baby. I need it, baby. I need it, baby. Oh, on me. Feel it, baby. I need it, me. Give it to me, baby. Oh, feel it, baby. Oh, I need it, me. Come on, baby. I need it, baby. Get the feeling. Oh, yeah. Feel it, baby. I need it, me. Feel it, baby.
Asda, Fatima, May, the Delaware crew, man. Good to see you live. CQ in the house. Should I take it off guard and just talk to Cynthia? All right, I can. Oh, okay. Hey, what the heck? Turn it on. Let me get Cynthia. You know, every time you guys give me credit for bringing the artists on the show, this is the lady who brought me the stars of the show right from beginning, man. So Music for Your Quarantine Feet gives credit to Cynthia Kwaku and Africa One Media. Running things, man. Brought me some media. Everybody can think of. Everything we started with bringing artists on the show. Started with the lady on your screen right now. And she's also a breast cancer survivor. And I'm glad to have you on the show today, Cynthia. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. And it's an amazing idea. I mean, hearing my sister, I came actually to support my two big sisters, Che and Jules. You know,
Yeah,
I'm actually a
yeah.
very shy person. People don't actually believe it. So I was
Jules, is that true? She's
I was
shy.
trying and
Not to
knocking,
me, she's not shy.
She's far
but
from shy, but I'm glad you're here to to be part of today's
yeah,
program. And I
yeah.
know we didn't talk earlier, but you can probably share your story, right? A little bit. When did you find out too,
Well,
and how long has it been?
it's interesting how, you know, when Che was talking, I could, a lot of the things she said resonated. Jules and I have also had conversations and it resonated with me. The emotions that you feel, mine sort of happened because at the time I'd moved to Ghana. I went to the UK on a business trip to see my local GP because my daughter suffered from eczema. So I'd normally go and get repeat prescriptions. I was having a conversation with the nurse. She asked whether I had a smear test done. We went into, do you check your breast for lumps? I didn't know how to. She made me stand up, put my hands up, helped me and noticed there was a lump. And then she said, you know, how long are you in town? I'm going to book for you to have a test done. I went and had it done. A few weeks later, I was in my office in Ghana when the young guy who was house sitting for me called and said that, and I'm sure there's some Wellingborough crew, I've seen a few people on the Gold Street Medical Center had called and asked me to call back. I called back, the rest is history. And what I do remember, I was obviously had moved to Ghana with so many positive vibes about what was happening. I thought I had prayed about, you know, moving to Ghana, and then things started to happen. Of course, I went through a separation at the time, ended up in a divorce, and then this cancer. So everything that Che was saying, and Che was one of the very few people, my kids went to school with her son, so I've known Che since the beginning. And the emotions that you go through, I froze. I
Of
remember
course.
freezing and then suddenly thinking, okay, I have 6 children, and I didn't tell anybody for 2 weeks. I needed to internalize, and I needed to be strong within. What I did do was book a flight, went back to England. I had actually also canceled my bupa about 2 months before this, so you can imagine what I was going through. I had a second opinion; it was confirmed. Then I told my mom and I told the children. But I do remember having a conversation sitting at the edge of my bed. I was very angry with God for a very long time. And when I decided I needed to have a conversation with him, what I did say to him was that, you know, I was an only child growing up. I was a big gap between myself and my sibling who comes after me, almost 16 years gap. So I was raised as an only child and I prayed for children and I asked God for children. And so I remember sort of going into battle with him and said, I asked you for children and you gave them to me, and I am not going anywhere. So it's incredible when I listen to Che, and I do know Che very well, love her dearly. When I listened to her, there was so many emotions. But I had people like Che who were there as people who inspired my journey. Every time I felt that I was going through a difficult moment, I would think about the likes of Che and Jules and Nana and every other women who are going through this journey. But you know, Che is obviously a beacon of inspiration, so far as I'm concerned. You know, so it still brings emotions up. Let's all share a prayer for her. You know, she's an incredible, incredible woman. All survivors are, all
Oh
supporters.
yeah, all of you
Survivors
are. I mean,
are.
supernatural woman.
And you know,
And
there's an
thank you for.
interesting thing. I'm wondering, and Jules and I were on a different program earlier today, and Jules said something about being blessed to have had it. And I couldn't articulate that feeling, but I do understand that there was a purpose. And I think Che also shared the same thing by saying that God will not give you anything you can't handle. What
Yeah,
I
but
will
still, I
say
wouldn't
to all
want.
of you is that, you know, there's a lot of stigma attached to this. You don't see it, you know, through the treatments, you might see it, but people go through a lot. So, you know, support Pink for Africa. Jules is doing an amazing job. Support everybody around you who's doing an amazing job fighting this disease, your family, prayers, financial support, whatever you can do. And let's continue to survive. But thank you so much for having this
No,
platform.
thank
You
you,
know,
thank you for
and
sharing your
for
story.
all of you for tuning. I'm going through the comments and it's really touching. But
How long has it been in yours? How many years now?
11 years as a survivor. So I was
Oh
39
my
when I was
goodness.
diagnosed. I had
Oh
it
my
twice
goodness.
too. I had it
You had it
twice too.
twice too?
5 years. Yes, but mine were always stage one. So early detection is
Okay. Early
key,
detection.
and which is
Okay.
why it's important that we support Jules and the work that she's doing. I myself 100% would say I don't support enough. I should support, and I think if we all made that commitment to support the work that she's doing, we go a long way in ensuring that the numbers are reduced. Because once it's detected early, the chances of survival are a lot higher.
Right. Right. It's
Yes.
something I'll talk to KB
Yeah.
about, the doctor about when he gets on. But thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank
I
you for
took you
having.
off guard, and we've had a
Love
decent
you,
conversation.
Jules.
All right then. Well, stay
Hey.
on. I'm now hitting up Jules now. Going to talk to.
Okay,
Well,
that's great. Tuning. I'm waiting to
thank you.
hear her speak.
Of
Thank you so
course.
much for having me. I appreciate.
How do I follow you guys? You know, you and Che have done such an amazing job. And, you know, for sure, thank you so much for giving us this platform to be able to come and share our stories, to impact all people, women more than anybody, but to impact women on the importance of early detection. And why we are here to speak is because of early detection. So,
Well, like they say, I mean, everybody likes to help in any which way.
yes,
Mine was just through music. It wasn't. I didn't plan to help you guys do anything. I just wanted to play music for myself because I was
that's all
bored.
right. That's
and
all right.
and then the program has become a little bit more than I anticipated. But in doing that, I just thought that we can use this platform to educate and to talk and to inspire. There might be somebody going through some symptoms who will be listening to this and would know what to do next. Anyway, Pink for Africa has become synonymous with breast cancer over in
Yes,
the US, which is a good thing. You want people to know um, where to go or what it's all about.
yes.
So talk to me about how it started. It's 10 years old. That's why we are celebrating this. Pink for Africa, the breast cancer, Jews Breast Cancer Foundation is 10 years old. That's the bottom line. So how did that start?
So 10
So
years
you would have a
ago,
story too.
yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Juliet Mills Lutrat. And 10 years ago, I was at the end of my journey with breast cancer. I was at the end, 10 years ago, I was at the end of my journey with breast cancer and feeling much better and going back to work. And through a conversation, a series of things happened. But one of the significant ones was I had launched a handbag line and I was being interviewed for the handbag. And the gentleman asked me, if you lived in Ghana, will you be married? And I said, absolutely. I don't think I'm bad looking. I'm sure I'll find a husband. And then the other question was, will you be an entrepreneur? Will you own your own business? And I said, well, I'm half Lebanese all my life. That's all I know. Then the third question was, will you be alive today, having been through what you just went through, having survived breast cancer? And I couldn't answer that question. So that prompted me to not only read about what is going on with breast cancer in Ghana, but also across Africa. And why is it that more, as I read, I found out more white women are diagnosed, but more Black women die. So there's a stigma that lies within our Black world that we need to pay attention to. And why is that? The fact that most of our women, most Black women do for everybody, and they put themselves last. So we beat our bodies a little bit more. So how do we drive some of the attention back to us to take better care of ourselves? And the importance of me being able to, why not me again?
Mhm.
And I say breast cancer was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. I mean, why?
I'll tell you why. In the last 10 years, I have lived more than I have lived all my life. I have made decisions to live. I have eaten better. I have taken better care of myself. I have enjoyed life and enjoyed the people in my life in a way I didn't do so before. And through getting breast cancer, I have been able to create, with the help of so many others, a platform like Pink for Africa,
Mhm.
to go out and educate. I have gone beyond myself to pour into others. So, yes, it has been the best wake up call for me. It has been the best thing for me.
I don't even
Yeah.
know where to continue next. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll ask you the same thing I asked you. First time doctor told you you have cancer.
Yes.
What happened? Faint,
So I had the
breakout?
flu. He called me and said I needed to come into the office.
Okay.
George was away on a business trip. So I drove by myself, went to his office, and he gave me the news. I don't remember how I drove home, but I remember talking to George about it and telling him what the diagnosis had been and where do we go from here. We needed to possibly seek a second opinion on where we were going, which direction we were taking. The initial doctor wanted to do a lumpectomy right away. And it didn't sit quite well with me. He wanted to schedule it within the next days. But I needed time to kind of process everything. So the second opinion was a female breast surgeon who said to me, "You're 40 years old. I will advise you to remove the breast completely because the younger you are, the more dangerous breast cancer is in your body. So take it off." And at 40, I was looking at my little tatas and saying to myself, well, if I'm going to negotiate a brand new one, I'm cool. Let's do this. And it became a non factor. Removing it was not even a question about it. My youngest child was 9 years old. I wanted to live to raise my children. I had three boys.
And George didn't have a problem with you
It
taking
was not George who was sick, it was me.
Hey, George,
He
no,
can
no.
keep his breast. I'm taking mine off.
so, okay. So the decision was 100% mom's.
It had to be because I think that women should need to take control of their bodies. And it's okay to consult your husband and discuss it with him. But the ultimate decision to do this should be you because it's going to sit when nobody's home and you look at yourself in the mirror. It is you look at. And so it has to be your decision. And it's about life. It's your life. So I don't know. Even in the Bible, it tells you if one foot hurts, cut it off and keep moving. So luckily, George is a tush man. So I got a lot of ass for George.
That's what I was thinking. I'm the other way around. I'm like, yeah, mood chief. She has to take it up. But life first, so no problem. But thank God. All right, so let's move on. Pink for Africa concept of yours. This is what you want to do. Hey, how many times have you cried about this? I just had this conversation with Chewa, and at the conclusion or at the end of it, I wish my program was ending, so I could just take a break, have a cup of tea, lie down, and how tough is this? Talking to people, some who have no clue what is happening to them or have no idea what the next step should be.
Oftentimes I tell people leading to October, please pray for me. Because when I go out in the field and I meet so many women who there is a sense of fear in their eyes that can be so scary. And to see that all the time is it's really, for the first time, I told my husband last year, when I go to Ghana, halfway through my journey, you have to come to Ghana because the other half of it, emotionally, I can't take it. So I knew on my last trip, when I did the Volta region, I did the Anglogan side last October, I was so drained by the time I returned. I needed, and it was more emotional and spiritual, more so than anything, because you see so much. And I'm a very touchy person. So when I see you and you are down, I'm coming to touch you, I'm coming to hug you. And in the process of me coming to touch you and hug you, I'm saying a prayer in my mind for you and in my spirit for you, that God should touch you and heal you and all of that. And a lot of energy and spiritual energy is pulled out of you. So by the end of the day, you are without, and you need to go back deep in and refuel again, only to wake up early in the morning and start your radio and TV and keep going nonstop.
So support has been. I mean, you're supporting here and also in Ghana, virtually
Yes.
both sides.
Yes.
Yes. How has support been?
So the focus has been Ghana more so than here because the awareness here is so much.
Right.
Ghana, Accra does a great job because there are so many smaller organizations like me who create a lot of awareness. What is not enough is the small organizations stepping into the hospitals to then help financially as well. So taking it beyond just education and creating a financial support system for the women who need it. And that has been very, very needed across from Okomfanoche and Kolebu. If I can take 30 women and help them when I go, and another small organization takes 10, and another one takes 10, we will be able to really save much more lives. So the importance of pushing a little bit more, and also encouraging the government to see that this disease is very, very, very important in our communities and is taking a lot of women's lives.
And it requires a lot of money.
It does. That's why catching it early is everything. What you don't realize is your financial status is so important to detect early, because you're going to save yourself a lot of money when it's detected early.
I think this is where I would like to talk to the oncologist. I have a few
Yes.
questions and then I'll come back to you. I'll
Awesome.
play a song and then we come back. We connect to KB, Dr. Seb Watson over in North Carolina. You don't have to go. I think we'll both have questions for KB at some point in time. So I'll just do this and then we come back to KB. Hey. Oh, KB's on already?
What is serious, Shemano? And it's just Shemakomemu. Wakasim did it be a good masu. Shake your diary. Pipa Marewanina. Or him, I be teaching with Denkoa. It's a chimney and one of the Kumi. Shake your diary. 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 You made me so beautiful. Shed your diary, made my life so meaningful. Shed your diary, median coming to me, baby. I'm a came me home, made it a song in a son. And come see me, no fear more. We say, order pa, and we in a palm. Shasha, me, yapido. Come send me to come. Mama come move in cabini. You see your door, me and Shiva. Never be who say, Mati, you see your door, and Tiakuma. But you gave me a reason to let you stay. My life's never been the same since the day. Oh, I will never ever let you go. I would never ever let you go. I would never ever let you go. All this serious, I know. And it's just my comemu. Wakasim the debut masu. Shake your diary. Or people marijuana. Or him I be teaching with Denkoa. It's teaching you one of the kumi. Shake your diary. Shake your diary. Shake your diary. Shake your diary. Shed your diary. Oh, you made me so beautiful. Shed your diary. Made my life so meaningful. Shed your diary.
All right then. As we spread the love in the month of October, breast cancer awareness, it's pleasing to know that one of the top oncologists in the United States of America is the son of Ghana himself. So Dr. Osebwati Osebi. As I talked earlier, I said there are three people on the show today. Chewizi, Jules, and Osebi. It could easily have been a music show. Talk about nightlife in New York. But you know, it's a little different today. We're talking breast cancer. And it's something you do every single day, KB. How does it feel like going to work Monday to Monday and it's all cancer related?
Well, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, so it's my day job, and I'm passionate about it. Just like I'm passionate about music. But let me actually, before we even start, let me give you a big up to for everything you're doing. This is your 20th week that you've been doing this. You know, this is a great outlet for a lot of us.
Thank you. It's good to see you rocking your pink today, though. Okay, let me go straight to you. So we used to hear you've had a higher risk if you've had family, if you have family history, or some people say, well, it's from the environment or one thing or the other. Now we are hearing of young, energetic people being diagnosed with cancer without any family history. What really are the risk factors that makes one susceptible to breast cancer?
So yeah, that's a very, very good question for sure. So when I think of risk factors for breast cancer, I like to put them into two boxes, right? So you have the risk factors that are, I think of them as modifiable. Those things you can change. And then you also have risk factors that you can't change, you can't do anything about. So those are the non-modifiable risk factors. And it's when you think of breast cancer, a lot of people, you're right, they used to think of it as, they think of family history and things like that. But the truth is, only 5 to 10% of breast cancer is actually genetic. So talking about the modifiable, the non-modifiable, so the things you can't change. Yeah, family history or genetics is one of the non-modifiable risk factors. Then there are things like age and sex, right? Females get breast cancer more than males. Now, a lot of people don't know. Males get breast cancer too, but females are about 10 times more likely to get breast cancer than males. So, when we just to expand a little bit, when I say age, when you look at breast cancer, 80% of of women who have breast cancer are over 50. But it's interesting that the Juliet and Jewa, the ladies who are on, which by the way, let me really give them big shout outs. I mean, I can't say enough of both of their stories. Jewa, I'm always inspired by my patients. They give me strength. So Official, you ask, how do we go to work every day and do what we do? It's because of Juliet. It's because of Chewa. It's because of Cynthia Kwaku. If you listen to their story, how can you complain about, working long hours and things like that when you see
Right.
the strength that they come in and the fight they have in there? So let me give them a big shout out. In fact, Chewa, and Juliet, one of the things that I do in my clinic is I bring back patients who are survivors to come and talk to my patients. Because as you both said, it can be very daunting when you've been diagnosed, when you're going through treatments and you're down. And so having people who have actually been along the journey come in and share their experiences is always a wonderful part of what we do, so that you see that it can be done and you can get to the next level. So big thank you for sharing, graciously sharing your stories with us. So Fisho, coming back to the risk factors. So the non-modifiable that I was talking about, age, right, is one of the big things. So 80% of breast cancer is diagnosed in women who are over 50 years old. There's really nothing you can do about your age. Although we're seeing it more and more in younger women, especially.
Yeah, I was going to talk about
Black
that.
women,
Yeah.
right? And it's interesting that I think Juliet actually brought that up. So some people even throw in, race as one of the risk factors, right? Because it turns out that if you look at the incidence of breast cancer, and again, most of the statistics I throw out are US statistics because I'm familiar with the data here. But I don't think it matters whether you're in the UK or you're in Ghana, right? So if you look at the actual incidence of breast cancer or the diagnosis, white women are more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer than Black women. But if you look at the mortality, right, Black women die at a 40% higher rate. And most people think that a lot of it has to do with socioeconomics, so lower socioeconomic status, it's more, you're less likely to be screened, you show up at a later stage. So I think that's one of the biggest factors, right? What I've actually noticed, even in my clinic in Charlotte, is even when Black women are diagnosed, it's interesting. I started tracking this. Even after they've been diagnosed, when I see Black women, it's been 3-4 weeks since they've been diagnosed before they actually get to my office.
Oh.
White women are being, as soon as they see a doctor, they're calling your office. They want to be seen 2 days. Okay, so I think it's just late diagnosis because of screening, which means that by the time they show up, they're already at a later stage and obviously have a worse prognosis because they don't have as many treatment options as if you get diagnosed early. But there's some studies that suggest, coming back to the early diagnosis, that there might be some other factors that when you look at Black women, because they tend to get diagnosed with the more aggressive type called triple negative. So again, it's mostly maybe socioeconomic, but there may be some inherent factors that we haven't completely teased out. Okay, so those are, when you think about the non-modifiable, then when you get into the actual genetics of it. So yes, there are mutations that we know of. I think the most common ones that we're familiar with is the breast cancer related gene. I think you asked Chiwa about it,
Right.
the BRCA1.
Right. Yes.
So that's the most common. There are some other ones that are less common. So when you look at people who have the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 genes, right, they're about 70% that they will get breast cancer in their lifetime. That's a lifetime risk. But when you look at the average woman, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. So that's just average. So it's a huge deal. And that's why we have October, pink October. And, some of my patients always give me a hard time. They have lymphoma and other disease. They go, Doc, how come, every October you make a huge thing about breast cancer? And you don't do that for us when we, lymphoma and some of the other cancer. And I say, well, we're in the PC, all cancers matter, right? All life matters. But the impact of breast cancer, it's the most common cancer among women, right? 1 in 8 women. Just think about it. 1 in 8 women diagnosed with breast cancer.
Crazy. Juliet was saying something about the numbers in Ghana. What's it?
Doc, the numbers in Ghana are even worse because so many women are showing up at such a later point because they're messing around with the herbalists, they're going to church to pray. So by the time they show up in the hospitals, you're talking about 1 in 8. Ghana is much more than
and I actually wouldn't doubt that. And the other thing that also makes breast cancer one of the things we talk about is, I think, Juliet, you mentioned that the stigma associated with it.
Yes, you were going to talk.
So it's something that we have to increase awareness, because people don't like to come and be screened, even though, screening saves lives. That is one of the success stories, actually, in cancer is breast cancer. Because if you look, where we've made great strides because of screening and early detection of breast cancer. So, even though we talk about the increased prevalence where 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, this is in the US now. But if you actually look at people who die from breast cancer, it's about 1 in 40. So clearly there's a lot of people who will not die. And I also like to, hey, we tout our success stories, right? So, as depressing as it might sound, breast cancer is actually one of the cancers. I always tell my wife that, whenever she tells me somebody's got breast cancer, I'm saying, oh, it's a good chance she's going to beat it, So, because if you look, even though 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed, 1 in 40 women die from it in the US. So it's one of, the better stories. And it's because of early detection. Now, getting back to the risk factors, because to be honest, we can't do too much about the genetics and when you talk about age and sex. Now, the ones that I actually like to talk about are the modifiable risk factors. So what are these? For example, obesity. And actually that's the other one of the things that is felt that, Black women may tend to be more obese, that may be one of the reasons they also, have a higher mortality. Obesity is something that's been linked with increased breast cancer. So not just obesity, but inactivity. So not exercising. So something as trivial as just exercising can actually cut down your risk for breast cancer and modifying, so cutting down your weight. That's one of the modifiable things. Alcohol, a lot of people don't know this, but
oh, really?
There's actually data, recent data that shows that just having more than 1 drink a day, women who have more than 1 drink a day on average, right, just on average, they have an increased risk of breast cancer. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. And I have a lot of friends on this platform. I'm sure, I'm not going to mention names.
There's no names.
I'm sure some people on average, average more than a drink a day. So that's something you can cut down on. It used to be thought that smoking was linked. Now the latest data suggests it may not be But I lump smoking in there because even if you don't get
Okay.
breast cancer, you could get lung cancer or head and neck cancer,
Right.
other cancers. So that's one of the things that we can work on. There are other things. I don't know if this is as much an issue in Ghana, but in the US, obviously using birth control pills that have estrogen, right? So it turns out that prolonged use of birth control pills tend to be linked with increased risk of breast cancer. And along the same lines, so postmenopausal, sometimes when you become postmenopausal, what tends to happen is you get a lot of hot flashes and some of these side effects. So they prescribe estrogen. So it turns out that using those for more than 5 years, especially if it's combined estrogen and progesterone, has a higher risk of breast cancer. And I think, it all has to do really with prolonged exposure to estrogen. So early menarche, so if you start your period early, less than 12, and you have menopause late over 55, that's associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. Again, that all has to do with more estrogen. So what happens is estrogen makes your breast cells divide quicker. That's it's been shown. So what tends to happen is if you have breast cancer, if you have breast cells dividing quicker, the likelihood that there might be a mutation that causes cancer is higher. So those are, again, some of the things that can be modified, right? So cutting down on prolonged use of estrogen-related pills.
All right. My friend Maya, of all the things you said, all he remembered was birth control pills.
Prolonged use of it, yeah.
But someone was just asking, so I mean, should people be doing breast ultrasounds now instead of mammogram, especially for Black women?
So that's a very good question. So Black women have been thought to have denser breasts. Actually, that's true. So the old mammograms, they would usually get a mammogram and an ultrasound. Now we have digital mammograms, which tend to get a better, even with dense breasts. So you can actually use a digital mammogram, and if they feel that you need an ultrasound, they'll let you know. But I found that now that we use the digital mammograms, we're not needing to do ultrasounds all the time like we used to back in the day.
Okay. So when do you absolutely have to run to the doctor? Because initially I knew people used to say, "Oh, with cancer there's no pain," and then all you hear is something comes up, and then others will say, "Oh, there's some pain somewhere, and I need to go see my doctor." When do I absolutely have to go see my doctor?
Okay, so another great question. So as the theme that's going to be coming up here is early detection, because that saves lives, right? So actually, if you get your screening, that's the best, because most of the time when the breast cancer is really small, you're really not going to feel anything. And in fact, most of the women I see in my clinic with breast cancer had it from a mammogram and they didn't feel anything. But if you want to talk about the signs and the symptoms, so when do you go to the doctor? When you feel a lump. The most common symptom that people present with breast cancer is they feel a lump. And you're right, it's usually painless. So a painless lump. Now, sometimes it can be painful if it's bigger and it's heavy and it starts causing problems. But a lot of times it's actually a painless lump. Let me be clear. Most painless lumps will not be breast cancer. Right.
Let's say that again. Most
painless lumps will not be breast cancer. It could be a cyst, it could be, but your question was when do you go to the doctor? So you still have to go to the doctor because you don't know that until you get a biopsy. So the most common symptom that women come in with is a painless lump. That's the most common symptom. Then there are other things to look out for, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes your nipple retraction. So, your nipple indents or it retracts, or you have, you look at one of your breasts is bigger than the other. You might not actually feel a lump, but there's asymmetry. The contour is different. The other thing that actually people show up with is the discoloration of the breast, right? So it gets red and it doesn't, it's not hurting like you have an infection, but it's red and it's coarse and it looks, I've seen people come in and it looks like an orange. So don't even let it get to that part. If you see discoloration, you need to come in. It might not be breast cancer, but it could be an infection. So it's still something that you need to. Your question is, when do you come to the doctor?
Yeah.
If you see discoloration in the breast, you need to come and get it checked out. Okay. So those are the big things. You discover a lump in your breast, right? You see any nipple retraction, nipple inversion, you see discoloration in the breast, any asymmetry. Now, obviously, it helps if you have an idea of what your normal breast feels like, right? So again, I think Juliet brought this up, or it might have been Chewa, that they didn't even know how to do a breast exam or a self breast exam. It's important that we emphasize self breast exams once a month.
Is this where like guys can help and stuff?
See where you're going now. Yes.
oh, serious question.
But it's more important that the woman knows how her breast feels like.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to advocate and let the guys feel like now they're empowered to help and
Hey, we're always willing to help. Is there anything we can
help if you ask help?
One of the women, her husband was who found.
You see? So husbands can really find out if there's something wrong. I mean, well, it's okay. I'll say
no. I'm not saying
that
you shouldn't help. You should help.
Because
you're right.
Do they really go for classes on self-exam, how to really check it? They do?
I teach it.
You teach it? Yes. Hey, where's more questions coming from Pink from Africa? Hey, you're doing a lot of work. You need some employees?
I'm sure a lot of guys are willing to help you with that.
We'll come back to you. Well, it's been pretty educative. I mean, you've gone in depth on that. The last question I was going to ask you, but now I don't even think is a wise question. I was going to say, is breast cancer diagnosis a death sentence? Because it seems like everybody who is first diagnosed believes they are going to die. That's the first instinct, which is pretty normal, I guess. Is it really a death sentence? We can't say that now.
No, but you said you weren't going to ask. I'm glad you brought it up because everybody thinks it's a death sentence, and it's something that we need to talk about. No, absolutely not. And but everybody who comes to my office, even those who come in who have breast cancer that's less than a centimeter that they found on a mammogram, they think it's a death sentence. So one of the things I've learned as an oncologist is that when people the first visit they come in, Chewa said it, Juliet said it, when they hear breast cancer, they don't hear anything else. There's very little you're gonna get across in that visit. So one of the things I actually get across is that breast cancer is not a death sentence. So I'm glad you brought it up. That is one. There are only a few things you're going to get across that first visit. It has to sink in, they come back again, or you call them again. So it's not a death sentence because there are 3 million breast cancer survivors, right, in the US. So clearly people are surviving breast cancer. And if you look at the statistics in the US, so about 91% of people, all across the board, right? 91% are surviving 5 years. And that's looking at early stage people who have lymph nodes, so we call them regional. So if you have breast cancer that's outside of your breast, but it's gone to your lymph nodes, it's called regional. And then if it's distant, in the case of what Chewa talked about, lung, or it's gone to another organ. But even across the board, right? When you look with all these groups, over 90% will be alive after 5 years, over 85 after 10 years, over 80%, right, after 15 years. So no, I wouldn't say it's a death sentence. And if you actually tease it out into smaller groups, that's where you get into where early detection makes a huge difference. Because if you look at people with stage 1 breast cancer, over 95% will be alive even in 10 years. And here we think of cure when you're 5 years, but we never say 100% because it can come back. But we still follow them closely. So
the statistics are good for the US.
But I agree. So we have to expand it to other places. And Juliet touched on a very important point. And at some point I'd like to collaborate with her and do some work in Ghana because there's more work to be done there. People present.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, people present at later stages there. So that's where most of the work needs to be done. And there's more of a stigma there to even getting people to come in and get screened. But even there, I'd like to think that it's not a death sentence. If yes, there will be some people who die from breast cancer, but most people are not going to die from breast cancer.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, maybe we could go on and on. There are a million and
Oh
one
yeah, this
questions,
is
but
something we could talk about, like I said, offline. This is what
right, definitely, we'll do that. And I'm glad. I mean, I'll link you up with Juliet, and then we can see. It's good. The numbers work well
She
here.
ever comes to Charlotte, she's coming to my clinic. I just
Definitely, you heard that. You have
I
an
will make
invitation.
my way
and
to
her
you,
strength.
Doc.
Yeah.
The numbers are good for the United States. Thank you so much for that. I hope we
We
can
need to
transfer
expand it
that
out.
to Ghana as well. I mean,
Yeah.
the stigma, the religious aspect of it. I mean, I've heard stories about people with not just breast cancer, different types of illness going for the holy water thing. And so, paracetamol is sold more than anything in hospital because the water is mixed with those tablets, and you get that temporary relief, and then it's back again. It's just
But
bothering.
I'll tell you something for sure. Even in the US, we have that too. It's just less. I have patients who I've seen who decided they didn't want traditional treatments and go to Mexico for holistic therapy. Most of the time, it never ends well. So I don't want to just, yes, you see it more in Ghana, but there's some here too, of people who, because of their beliefs, I had a lady, this is quite a white lady actually, she put garlic and all these things on her breast, but she wouldn't come for treatment till it spread and she had brain metastasis, eventually came back later. And I was just
will be too late by then.
Walking around with the cloves of garlic and all that stuff. But she did that instead of maybe just doing a lumpectomy at the time. So it's I recognize that there's a lot that needs to be done in awareness.
Oh, last question before I let you go. I've mentioned several times that I got into DJing through a whole lot of DJs. There's one of them who taught me how to DJ properly. His name was Atai, and he passed away from breast cancer. I mean, percentages of men with breast cancer? How many? How many? What's the
So
percentage?
again, I don't know the percentages in Ghana. I can tell you last year, so 2019 in the US, right? 2,670 men got diagnosed with breast cancer. So it's not, it's not a small number. It's just that when you compare to 270,000 women, 2,670 looks like a small number. And actually, the men tend to come at a little later stage too, because for whatever reason, they don't want to come till it gets bigger. A lump in the breast, and the guy, he thinks, well, it can't be breast cancer because I'm a man, So yeah, I have men patients, and not many, but I have guys who have breast cancer. So it's not, men, if you see something abnormal in your breast, you need to seek attention too.
If the chi is hurting, you need to step out. Okay, last one. I said last one. Now last one.
Keep them coming.
There's something I read about deodorant and breast cancer. I don't know if there's a correlation. They said if you buy deodorant that says antiperspirant, that's not good. You need to buy one that would actually allow you to sweat. Is there a correlation between deodorant and
it's actually something that I've also heard about. I don't think they've looked at it and proven that is the case, but it's something that's thrown out there too. So I don't know that we actually have data to support that.
Right, man. KB, thanks a whole lot. Very, very.
Thanks for finally having me on your show after 6.
Well, this is your third time though. It's just that your first 2 times you were dancing. So
it was it was in my house, so I had to make an appearance.
Yeah, it was your house. So that was cool. Well, thank you so much, man. Thanks a whole lot for this.
Thanks for everything you're doing to raise
All right, listeners. I'll drop a little music and then we come back to Jules. I hope you're not upset that I'm doing a whole lot more talk than music today, but we had to get the word out. So we'll do a little bit of Adina, and then we come back to Juliet talking for Africa. This is still music for your quarantine feed. More talk, less music.
People they tell me say you let me for a fool. I know they I want you be my baby boo. But just she would don't mama go my boom boom je boom boom. Mama go my boom me don't mama go my boom
say, do not your friend. Unfunina dama koma so. Girl, I wanna love you to the end of time. May you want the crosses to kill my son. Yeah, so don't be surprised if I kill myself all in the name of love. Me and I may be pair will let me pay the price. So I dream see me team why I'm feel rough. Utilizing the eyes of beholder. Home to girl I'm sober. And kind of life and I'm chasing my door is over. To see I'm irresponsible. The bomb by a soldier. Jana one kind of winning Brian give a soldier. Can be betrayed.
Just you know, Mama gonna bomb me, boom chick.
Oh, I. So me cut down on my dream responsibility. See me now, so my soul will be the banana come and in the case. See me three, so me more be around betty and them they be than you me. So do you way? Oh, I. Enough of them they jealous me, yeah. Cause she love me alone and you know one or two I see, yeah. Oh, I. Bring some me was Sarah, only you are the see, yeah. Me no see no other girl and them one way I rushing on me DM. Bang bang. I saw bro chef and sabe wa many. Into the eye. I saw bro chef and sabe wa many. I saw bro chef and sabe wa many. Ooh and yeah she. Oh mama, oh mama. Say ooh and yeah she. Oh mama, oh mama. Say me ooh and yeah she. Oh mama.
She wanna roll and smoke one thing. I'm on to She wanna roll and smoke one thing. I'm on to leave her diamond ring, but she say other girls like mine thing. She make my heart beat say like say boom boom. Next time you're gonna take you to bloom bloom. When we done we go home a boom boom. Hop on the wag, baby say vroom vroom. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. I rub on your thing, but we move. Even you where they catch my cruise. You know the vibes, you know the groove. Only why they miss my woo. She make my heart beat say like say boom boom. Next time you're gonna take you to bloom bloom. When we done we go home a boom boom. Hop on the wag, baby stay vroom vroom. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. I got a girl, she a London thing. She wanna roll and smoke one thing. I want to give her a diamond ring, but she say other girls like my thing. She make my heart beat say like say boom boom. Next time you're gonna take you to bloom bloom. When we done we go home a boom boom. Hop on the wag, baby say vroom vroom. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture. Say cheese like a picture. Shaka post, make I see, take a picture.
You know be TV, no be callous. See the way you talking like you say your mother know they show you manners. My vision no be city, no be dollars. Every day be payday, baby say we they kill you with the assets. Waiting where you getting me, that thing where you the budget. I don't go show you nothing, cause you know you get pocket. Make you know they come cars for my master. Champagne, you know be what about it. No be rush. If If you got it, you to do what you like. We're the girls, know the mind. We the vibe, we the vibe, we the vibe. We the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe.
3 boys for front, 5 boys for back. Saturday night, tonight boys for knock. Are you sleeping on a bicycle or it's just a nap? When we touch the microphone, it's a rap. And I thing on a no long thing. They buy things for a girls still fronting. Not knowing monkey they work, baboon they chop. Chop, chop something. Baby, never do me like that. Just do me what you do me. I like that. Watch movie in a jacuzzi, you rock my back. Your Gucci and your booty. Shit.
No be rush. If you got it, you to do what you like. We're the girls, know the mind. We the vibe, 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 what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe. Baby, pick it up, y'all give me that. Y'all know you wiggle up, y'all want me bad. Oh, let's take a look, every day we chillin' up. Y'all give me feeling up, everybody see the money fall. Baby, pick it up, y'all give me that. Y'all know you wiggle up, y'all want me bad. Oh, let's take a look, y'all give me feeling up. No, they give me two, another one, what we happy to. No be rush, if you got it, you to do what you like. We're the girls, know the mind. We the vibe, 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 what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe, we the vibe, what we the vibe.
10 up, shots on liver. With the vibe, shock it and keep up. We keep it 100, watch you the figure. I can't give up, girl, I gotta live up. Last time you left, you said you'd be back soon. Missing my train. I've been in the same room waiting for you. Fine girl, what make I do missing me? Plabnata, oh no, odo with the age. Me who be that? Man say won't come into me that. Man say won't come into me, no, but into me.
No be rush, if you got it, you to do what you like. We're the girls, know the mind. We the vibe, we the vibe, we the vibe, we the vibe.
All right, that's what we're doing right now. Vibing on music for your quarantine fee.
We the vibe, what we the vibe.
Ask the men on the show, listen attentively. And we promise to help in the fight with early detection. George has all the experience. I'm learning from you along those lines. Pink for Africa, rocking your pink this evening. Right here, music for your quarantine feet. Jules is here. 10 years of Pink for Africa. There's still a little more vibe, and we'll do that precisely right now. This one is messing up. All right then, Jules. It was cool listening to KB giving us the medical background of what was going on, and I know all those statistics. I hope they managed to keep a lot of you encouraged that if you're listening, especially here in the US, and you have symptoms or you're going through early detection stages of breast cancer, don't be afraid. There are a lot of opportunities out there for you. And I'll let Juliet maybe touch a little bit on some of the stuff KB said, especially when it comes to relating to Ghana.
KB was absolutely on point. Doc, thank you so much for the insight and giving us as much knowledge as you did. I totally appreciate and would really love to do something with you in the future. But just to piggyback off some of the things you said, one of the things that I have seen in the last 10 years across Ghana is the stigma issue. There is so many embedded stigma, and I think majority of it stems from fear. And because we are in an environment where financially majority of the people who have been riddled with the disease cannot afford it, it is paramount that we educate and advocate for early detection. So Pink for Africa begins from age 12, teaching our young women how to self-examine, and even our young men. At the end of the day, when a woman is diagnosed or a young person is diagnosed, their support system, whether it's a brother, is their husband, is their whoever is in their life, is so key to how they heal and how they also embrace the disease and go forward.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm standing here because of my husband, because of my family, because of my children, because of my friends, because of the network of people who said, you got this and we got you. So it's so important. Um, Before cancer, I was close to 300 pounds. And I make jokes that now I look amazing because I've lost weight and I feel better, I feel sexier. My husband would have missed out on all of that had he walked away. So I think it's so important that we take very good care of ourselves. So the question came up with prevention. What are some of the things we can do? Doc explained it quite well. You know, eating well, exercising, yes, some of it is genetics, but eating well and exercising is very key. Today I spoke earlier to on a platform and I talked about the importance of looking at your plate as you eat, seeing more vegetable, seeing less meat, and seeing much less carbohydrate. Carbohydrate turns to sugar. Sugar is loved by cancer. Sugar is like fertilizer to cancer. So you want to be sure that when you're eating your sweets, it is less, and your white foods is less, and you're upping your vegetables. Taking half an hour walk a day or 3 times a week is not much. Some of us will say we don't have time, but we have time to do other things. Take time out for your health. Your health is what's going to sustain your entire lifespan. So it is so important that we grow old together and grow healthy together. So eating well, exercising, making sure that if you're going to do alcohol is less. If you're a woman, be mindful of how much of all the outside substances in terms of alcohol and cigarette and all of that you put into your body. Be mindful of it because the trickle effect, you will pay for it down the line.
Did you say some husbands walk away when their wives get?
Yes. So I've run into quite a bit of women who,
Really?
yes, the husbands will actually disagree with the wife taking off the breast and say to them, if you take off your breast, I would not want to continue to marry you. Or they will tell you, when I married you, you had both breasts. So you should be able to keep it.
Let me interrupt that. On your screen right now, that's George, man. That's Jules' husband. Great guy, man. And George was
Hi,
my senior
George.
back in Achimota School. Same house, Agri House, respect. And they taught us that we should take care of our wives all the way through. So thank you, George. George has been extremely supportful, right?
George has
Supportive.
been a pillar that I cannot even tell you.
Man.
It's been amazing. And to honestly see me take on Pink for Africa, the continuous support from him. He takes care of the kids while I'm gone for a month at a time. My staff holds my businesses for a month at a time while I'm gone. So many people play a significant role in allowing me to be able to go. So from my VP to everybody who plays a role, from the donations that come in, the big, the small, you are all gladiators and soldiers of Pink for Africa. Believe me, you are. You are.
Okay, it's been 10 years of doing good. Well,
Yes.
officially 10 years of doing good. You've been doing, this for a whole lot more. How do we support now? We've been supporting every year with the things you've been doing, but that's been minimal. How do we support?
So as we grow, the need, our name is getting out there. So the need is getting bigger and bigger because more people are learning about us and realizing that we do go into Kolebu and support women financially. We do bring prosthetics. We do reach out through education. For every dollar you donate, remember, it educates 4 women. So for the gentleman who donated $1,000, just think of the lives you're touching. For those who donate $50, just think of the lives you're touching. The prosthetics are not cheap. When we go to donate, some women, sometimes we don't have enough for everybody. I would love to see when I go home and be able to sit in a hospital and have enough money, not only for chemo and radiation, for surgery. One of our young women, she was 24 when she came to us. We helped her. We walked her through her journey, paid for her chemo, paid for radiation, supported her. And in 3 years, this young woman is married with a daughter she named Juliet. So that is the impact when we are saving lives. And in a small way, we can contribute to this. So www.pinkforafrica.org, for our 10-year anniversary, there are ways you can donate. For our 10-year anniversary, there are ways you can donate. You can donate directly on the website, pinkforafrica.org. Click the donate button and donate.
1.
2, I designed a candle, a very special candle that is going to bring you so much joy.
Pick another candle.
And the heart behind this candle, I'm going to explain to you what that is. This candle was made in Europe by a lady called Patricia from Sula, NYC. And Sula, NYC she designs many things, but she called me during COVID and said, Jules, I want to do something to support Pink for Africa. How can I help? And this is what we came up with. So we designed a candle that says, light in honor of the angels, the fighters, and the survivors. So when you light this candle, you're basically celebrating everybody who has ever been touched by breast cancer. As you light, say a special prayer for those of you who you personally know, and light it. Challenge others on Facebook and Instagram, wherever your social media preference is. Challenge others to also light their candle. It can be this candle, it can be any candle, but light in honor to give strength to those who are fighting right now, and to those who have survived, and to the angels we've lost. We stand on all your backs to continue the journey with breast cancer. Every time you light a candle, tag Pink for Africa. Let us know that you lighted this candle. You will go to there's a link on the website that you can click on, and it will take you directly to buy this candle. It's a $50 donation when you buy it, and we will ship it to you once you go through the process of buying it. We will ship it directly to you. The fragrance was made specifically for Pink for Africa. You're going to love the smell of this. It will bring so much warmth to you.
Zoom, can you smell
home. It will bring so much warmth to you. Very smell, even before you light it, you can smell the scent of the fragrance. So please, I urge all of you to continue to donate so that we can continue to do the work we do. Your dollar goes a long way. May God multiply it tenfolds for you. Whatever you pour into us, may He multiply tenfolds for you. If you ever need to call me, if you're going through any journey, my number is on Facebook. It's on Instagram. Please reach out to Juliet Mills, Juliet Arawalk Mills Luderat on Facebook. You can get me through Pink for Africa. You can send us an email. I will respond right away. I am very hands-on, so I will reach out to you as quickly as I can and give you hope and give you encouragement. Whatever you need to go through your journey, we got you. We got you.
Okay, so you can donate via the website pinkforafrica.com. You can contact us. There's some candles that will be here, right?
Yes, we will leave some candles for you in
right.
Maryland. Those who want to buy through Fish Show, you can.
Yeah.
So the campaign is 10-10. It began yesterday, 10-10-2020, and 10-20-20 it ends. Even though we're ending at 10-20-20, the donation doesn't stop. Cancer affects people year round. So there are people who actually go on and set it up where every month they donate an amount. There are people whose companies also match your donation. So when you donate on Pink for Africa, please let your companies know, and your companies will match it and donate exactly what you donated as well. So if you donate $50, guess what? Your company will donate $50. Now you donated $100. So please remember that a lot of companies are matching and are supporting your efforts to give back so that they can also do the same. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
So you can get that information live on Zoom, live on Facebook, on Instagram. I can see a lot of you reserving your candles already. That's fantastic.
Yes, that's
Gina
fantastic.
Asante, Belinda Sewusu, Perla Kiumi, Pelwanya. Everybody's picking up a candle. My friend
awesome.
Maya hasn't
thank you
picked
all,
up
guys. Thank
yet.
you. Thank you.
We're waiting for that. But thank you, Juliet. This is incredible. This is amazing.
Thank you.
We always like to support anything that we do, that other people do, and do it genuinely. And so we're happy about that. The website is up on Facebook, pinkforafrica.com.
There's a question
from
.org.
Pinkforafrica.org. Sorry, pinkforafrica.org. I think that's DJ E Love just put the link up on Facebook as well, so you can get that. Pinkforafrica.org. Order your
So, quick
candles.
question.
It smells good. Yes.
I want to respond to a question.
Question on Zoom. Yeah.
Accessibility to chemotherapy and radiotherapy. You know, in
Ghana.
Ghana, there are two biggest hospitals that I will encourage you to go to. There are other hospitals that do chemo and radiation, but I will say to you, go to your Kolebu and go to your Okomfanochi hospitals. They have most of there's a breast center, for example, in both hospitals that focus only on breast cancer and all cancers, but focusing on breast especially. And all of your chemo and radiation can be done there. Depending on what type of cancer you have, your doctor will determine what type of chemo and how long your chemo treatment should be. They are not cheap. And majority of the time, when we raise enough money, we are able to reach out and subsidize for a lot of people. Sometimes we cannot pay for all of it, but we can pay for some of it. So we are definitely gathering money now, and I'm hoping at the beginning of the year, when this COVID quiets down, we can go home. And even before it quiets down, there are women who need our help. I've already reached out to a few people that I've helped. So if we have the money, we will be able to support that. Please donate, donate, donate.
And listen, it's very emotional. I remember one morning I woke up very early in the morning, and then I checked my phone on something, and I saw a link somebody had sent about a lady who had been kicked out by her landlord in Kaswa, I think, because she had breast cancer and there was a stench in her room. So I read it, I'm like, whoa, what's this? So I forwarded it quickly to Juliet. She called me about 2 hours later. She had contacted some people in Ghana to follow up on that story. They rushed her quickly to Kolebu. This was all by kind courtesy of Pink for Africa. And the next day, 24 hours later, Juliet calls me and says, I called some of my nurses. They went out to help her. They took her to Kolebu. We're going to help her so the rest of her life will be peaceful. I said, Juliet, so she's not going to survive? She's like, for sure, it was too late. So I guess at the end of the day, you take out little bits and pieces from every show, from every interview, from every story. Let what you take away from today be that early detection helps. Okay? Early detection saves lives. So that should be one key thing you take away from today's program. So don't be afraid if there's any issue anywhere that you want to let a doctor take a look at or check out. Oh my goodness, no, she just showed me a picture. I don't do well with visuals. Oh my, oh.
No. It's very important we talk about this because you see, people don't realize that when you wait too late, this was one of the women. When you wait too late,
oh my God.
This is some, I'll send it to you. When you wait too late, this is some of what could happen. It is very, at this point, we don't know how far is gone into your lungs, into your entire body. It is so important that self-examination and early detection is key. I'm going to show you quickly how to self-examine and when to self-examine and the importance of what to do. As a woman, as a man, what to do. So quickly, let's run through this. 1 week after your period, yes. 1 week after your period for the women is the best time to examine your breast. For the men, you can examine anytime. For women who do not get their periods anymore, you can examine anytime. So remember this, your four fingers have a memory. So the more you check your breast tissue, the more your fingers recognize your breast tissue. And if there's anything abnormal, it's going to feel it. So when you are in your bedroom, you will take your top off. You would lay flat on your bed. You will put your one hand behind you. And with these four fingers, you will go into the breast and do circular and go round. Okay? You will come all the way to your collarbone. You will come all the way into your armpits. Some women are a little bit more well endowed so that their breast tissue extends into their armpits. You're going to go into your armpits. Some people examine, they go across this way and they come across. That's another technique for you to do. When you are done, you will alternate and do the same on the other side. Go round and do the same process. You're going to come underneath the collarbone and go round. When you are done, you would look at your breast in the mirror, stand up and in front of the mirror. Look at for discoloration, look for one significantly bigger than the other. Most of us are slightly bigger, but look at significant. Pay attention to your breast, know what your body looks and feels like, so that if anything is abnormal, it does not mean you have breast cancer. It means you should have a doctor check you and go through the proper testing to conclude whether you do or not. But I beg of you, if you feel a lump, do not put your hand on your head and say, me woo, me woo. So that's not what we are saying. We're saying that if you feel anything abnormal, please go to the doctor. Usually there's no pain. So it's not going to hurt you. It's nothing that you're going to feel is painful.
You see, that's very
But
important. Can you
it's
say that
like-
again? Usually there's
Yes,
no pain.
There is no pain. Early stages of breast cancer, there's no pain at all. So you want to be sure that you do, if you feel anything, and believe me, it is not the big lump of breast, the big lump in your breast. That's not what we're looking for. It's a tinier, harder feel. And so you want to, and you can Google it and do a bit of a research on it. Pink for Africa on the site has a posting of the steps to go, how to learn. If you need it, hit us up. I will text it to you. We will email it to you. We will do whatever it takes. But if you go on our site, the educational steps are there. I'm going to also put it on the Pink for Africa Facebook and Instagram site for you to go to and see the steps as well. But please let us grow old together. Take good care of all of yourselves and be kind to each other.
Thank you. I mean, thank you so much. I've enjoyed today's music for Quarantine Feet more than I normally would with the information out there. Nana Sapa wanted to say something before we roll out.
So, Jules, my question is about reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
I know that as Africans and also as Ghanaians, when it comes to plastic surgery, there's also a stigma around it, right?
Yes.
I've heard people say that I don't want to put anything artificial in my body.
Yes.
But because of that, most women are against mastectomy, right? Taking their breasts out.
Right.
Can you speak on that? And can you share your experience on that?
Yes.
And why people should not rule that out?
This is the deal. I think that for every woman is different. There are women in this country who choose not to go with the route of reconstructive surgery because there is also a risk factor. For example, I had my reconstructive surgery done 12 years ago, and you're supposed to go back and replace it every 10 years. So my 10-year mark, I went back and I replaced it. A year and a half into it, I got called that it's been recalled. So that's another surgery I have to go into. There are people who do not like to do surgeries. So if you choose not to have a mastectomy, I think it's a personal preference. There are women in America who do not have. I know a 30-year-old girl who decided not to for both mastectomies. And she bears her chest beautifully and is very confident about it. I think that it's a preference. But if you choose to do it, it is not as common in Ghana as it is in the US. So in Ghana, you just need to make sure that you are finding the right doctors to do the right reconstructive surgery for you. The other option is the prosthetics, where women can drop a tissue that feels like breast into your bra, and it feels very much like breast. It is one of the things Pink for Africa donates to women. So that in itself brings a little bit of comfort to those who cannot afford it. The surgery is an expensive journey. And for me, my insurance covered it in the US. But there are people even in the US who may not have the right insurance to cover that kind of extensive work. So it's a personal preference. I am not afraid because I think for me, how it comforts me, I think when you look at me, you don't think I am cut up across both chests and I'm all scarred up. But when you see me in my clothes, because I look normal, it seemed okay.
I know Jules very well. I was afraid you're going to take it off and show everybody else. No, not of that today.
That is the Stephanie in me.
that's Stephanie, not today on that one.
But the beautiful thing is that there are women who, when I go to speak in different places, I pull into the bathroom and show them my chest. And I do that to give them hope. I do that to say, look at me. Now, do I not look beautiful? The fact that I'm scarred does not mean that I'm not beautiful. So beauty is the longevity of who the person who marries you and what they get to enjoy. It's never on the outside. Princess Diana Krani Kunejano. Me pa say, you know, at the end of the day, beauty is your character, is the content of you, is who we live with each other with, and that's the most important. So reconstructive surgery, I think, is a wonderful thing for especially the younger women who go through breast cancer, because for your psyche reasons, statistics show that women who get reconstructive surgery feel much better after breast cancer than without.
How much are the?
Well, I don't know for the cosmetic one. I think it's between no, cosmetic, just cosmetic to go and have your breasts done. Okay, so
About
10 average
10,
for a
10,000.
cosmetic, let's say, adjustment with your own breast tissue. For me, my journey with breast cancer from beginning to end was a little over $300,000 from chemo to everything. So if you don't have insurance and you are at the mercy of not having that kind of money, it is not a cheap process. No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, this is insane. This, oh boy.
And Ghana subsidizes. Let me give credit to Ghana, because Ghana subsidizes some of the medications for the women. And for those who, when they are subsidized, still fall short, depend on organizations like Pink for Africa and others to step in. You know, Walk for Cure was one of the ones who was along with me, helping a lot of women as well. And now I believe Walk for Cure pulled back a little bit in Ghana. But there are other smaller organizations that we need to encourage to just do the same, go beyond education and go and pour into, you know, organizations like mine. Listen, if you see the grueling process of us with an application, I don't play with your money. I don't play with your money. I don't leave prosthetics. I put the prosthetics in everybody's breast. I see you, I measure you, I give it to you. I see you don't have, and I give you. We do not take anybody to say, my wife has it, she lives in Koforidua, so I'm coming to get it for her. No. As much as my people, I love my people, there are some behavior patterns that we need to be very aware of and respect, that we are using other people's money to do the work we do, and we have to respect where that money comes from and honor where that money comes from. So you can rest assured that 100% of your donation goes to support the women and the people who need it the most. All of the work, the travel for me to go, my stay, everything else comes from my businesses
Personal,
that support Pink for Africa for that kind of support.
Well, thank you so much, Jules. It's been a wonderful evening. Pinkforafrica.org.
Now let's dance.
Pinkforafrica.org is the website. You can donate, you can purchase your candles, everything. MFI, I know you bought your candle. Maya claims he's picked up his candle. Hey, but you know, my good friends, there'll be a few candles here for those of you in Maryland. You can pick them up from here.
Yes.
Everybody else all around the world, just go to the website, pinkforafrica.org. Thank you so much, Juliet. Thank you so much, George. Hey, I talked about George Achimoto School. Yes, 100%. And I said Agri House. Please, I was mixing it up with Philip. Philip is George's younger brother, my mate. Philip was the deputy school prefect on the Western compound. Thank you, George. Sorry, George. Why am I mixing stuff up? George was the deputy school prefect, Western compound. Thank you so much, George, for all your help and support. I'll be talking to you to help me with the experience. I mean, I know you're an expert in that, and so all that. I've seen Warsaw, D-Labi, all the Cooperative Boys online.
Warsaw, D-Labi,
everybody helping out.
That's my boys.
Oh yeah,
that's my
no
boys.
doubt. Rosemary, the whole crew, the
Rosemary.
Cooperative crew, everybody online there. Missy G says, "What's up, Jules?"
Nice one, Missy G.
Sak, Rachel, Ajaza, everybody online. Everybody's sending out love, man.
Much love. Thank
Peter Kwabwa, Sylvia, everybody, man.
The
Thanks a whole
Buckness,
lot.
thank you.
Debbie France,
you,
everybody else. Genevieve. Yeah, Genevieve is working today. She wishes she could have taken today off. But you know, thank you. Thank you.
Much love. We roll.
Back to the music. we'll see if we can pep it up a little bit. But there's one more thing I want to add. We spoke to Che Weezy earlier. Chewa, we listened to her story, brought tears to her eyes. And because I felt down, there was one thing I forgot to tell Chewa before she left. It's her birthday tomorrow. So from all of us here on Music for Your Quarantine Feet, to you, Che Weezy, man, happy birthday. 18 years as a survivor.
Happy
you have
birthday.
a whole lot more ahead. Happy birthday, Che Weezy. Let's set the ball rolling. You're a fun individual. I know you love music. So we'll go as far as we can go. It's a holiday tomorrow.
I remember I used to call you back then in the late nights. So you used to be a good girl, but everything just changed now. I feel me from ground for last time when a boy you were back up, yeah, baby girl. Cause I never came on me, how my leg, oh, yeah. Tonight I can tell.
Happy birthday, Che Weezy. And of course to you, Abba Kato Anda. Abba has written a new book, Reflections of a Hope Monger. She has 3 books here that she wants us to give away to listeners. I think I'll do that next week. Devise a strategy for that. Giveaway books for Abba Kato, Reflections of a Hope Monger. Sylvia Kwabwa. Talk show kicks off at 8 o'clock. Against all odds, Sylvia Kwabwa coming up at 8 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Against all odds. In the meantime, in between time, music.
I said, what's this song? Call you, don't pick up, but still late night. Girl, you there online, eh? Me dreaming who a girl, I know the bap. My dreaming who saw me, I know the bap now. Why you go do me like that? Girl, why you do me like that? Why you go do me like that? Oh, na na na, eh. Tonight, make I tell you something. Don't rush, baby, take your time. All I want was to give you love. All I want was to make you smile. You were the sweetest girl, but now you move dangerous. Now you change so serious. Oh, hey. They say I pay what's the sun, 2 Brazil, baby girl, man, son. Right, what's your baby girl, don't see son. 2 Brazil, you make man shiver. Yeah, Miss I know what's the sun, 2 Brazil, baby girl, man, son. Right, what's your baby girl, man, son. 2 Brazil, baby girl, man, son.
Get set, ready, go. Give you my heart, make you carry go. Tell them, girl, I'm your girlie, yo. Oh, yeah.
To my man Taju Temple.
Feel it in my belly, yo.
Listening now, Taju just picked up his candle. Thank you.
La, 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 do. I give you my heart and soul. Suje. Your power overload. Suje. Are you ready, ready, ready? Suje. Suje. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. Sing my name. You hit the jackpot, bingo. Hope you bigger than your ego. A, B, C, let the D go. You go, V go. Ajay, Ajay. One thing, Janet, come here. Ajay, Edwana, Jua. Let me think, sweetie, papa. Come here. Let me think, sweetie, papa. I give you my heart and soul. Suje. Your power overload. Suje. Are you ready, ready, ready? Suje. Suje. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name. Sing my name. I gon' make you sing my name.
Mary Dugbate, good to see you on.
We gon' settle when everything is not well. Girl, make it gentle. No other girl with me act well. Two of us like fun.
Anita, always cool to see you on. Bayman Lyrics and Big Joe.
If you don't think I'm not good, only your love I appreciate. If you don't think I'm not good, baby girl, let's relate. What she sings to no kissing, babe. No touching, babe. No kissing, babe. And don't call me, babe. No kissing, babe. No touching, babe. No kissing, babe. And don't call me, babe.
What else? Verlinda, good to see you back.
Na me complain was say no use car no. Cause I yana what the Panamera na ko fani nia kabute na what the key na ko ma brado. Enti ma kuma ba na me friend bonde. Be jana wa ko fa girl wa pa one share. It to the bia yana grow with me so I'm really taking a place them me kind of the one pay. Enti me so the one I do I was it.
I'm a Poco. Leticia.
All I gotta do is take your hand around the way. Papi go joke and not also kidding mama, I'm in better than be the baby banana you late. I don't go look at your face, scared to say, no kissing, if I said it's so many more, no touching, oh my God, no kissing, if I said it's so many more, no touching, oh my God, no kissing, if I said it's so many more, no touching, oh my God, no kissing.
I know the two strike like thunder. The woman them say I get power. I know they told you I like party, sweet baby. I got variety, what you can show me? See Nash, see body. Give thanks, give God all the glory. Only one Monday. Me and my dogs only see paper. Restaurants are the tip waiter. Bemini noni, don't wish her. I'm in alligator. She want me eka. Today, you they use Oscar.
Barbara Hyde. Oh, good to see you. I know you're a Lumba fan, but I hope this is cool for you, though.
If you believe in God, you are Shishibu. Oh, Jalabia, Shaibu Dibu. Thanks for pay with operation or Jumilu. Ebama Dema, you send me feeling. Shata Wale 2019, Kilimo. Sweet, sweet, only one.
The Quatia family.
Shata Wale. And if I the gas one play, only my name, only my name.
Daylight caller back in Carolina. Hey.
Them say you never feel the way you do them trouble. I'm a going on fade, I'm gonna fade, I'm a trouble. I face in bing, oh fade jump. I'm gonna fade jump. I face in bing, oh fade jump. I'm gonna fade jump.
Pimple man.
Say you never feel the way you do them trouble. I'm a going on fade, I'm gonna fade, I'm a trouble. I face in bing, oh fade jump. I'm gonna fade jump. I face in bing, oh fade jump.
What else?
I'm gonna fade jump.
I be there one of the figures say we no go do. If you not we do, I be the skin pain. What's it walk up, Brema say now who be you? Nako kwana dumti with the maintain. Sana mufi say woman be pressure. Just a canon kwana kame nam from. Now so Jehovah name me protector. Yeme baba ye no so for shen come na she run a young tongue. Oh, win that. Yeah, we best go criminal me to spin test. Tell it with the critical thinkers. Yeah, what you can come go to kwana kame singlet. But I follow up me to her last year. But I feel the one who I me a queen law. The thing I mean if I saw me book club there. Then I say we came on a who me a tell it came cause every Victor. Oh,
them say you never feel the way you do them trouble. I'm a going on fade, I'm gonna fade, I'm a trouble. I face in bing, oh fade jump. I'm gonna fade jump. I face in bing,
show be even me now for one way. Wama majia ya basano. Nsani ya wote wenza fami tulimu na mami crazy. Misha wani muni wani mkusi ya mesami na mi crazy. Baby, oda na chichu mi ofi mi. Me and two man can make us a chichu mi da. Nanka mi ya oda kapinta. Mama mwa kuma paku mja. Mama mwa useni ya. They don't look to your rubber. Me ya oda kapinta. Mama mwa kuma paku mja. Mama mwa useni ya. They don't look to your rubber.
You're too sexy, you're too bad, you're too naughty. Oh, I get to stop, see me don't so my body, what you know. Me did it say, oh, yeah, mommy. Me did don't so my body, me did it say, to go be and see if it's a bit of a hobby. Georgia Mujo, so somebody gosh and what come be a hobby. Georgia Mujo, so somebody be mistrust, and be a hobby. Georgia Mujo, so somebody be mistrust, and be a hobby. Georgia Mujo, when you say shine, it's not so hard, very natural. But it's very innocent. Pretty girls don't know that plus I say, baby, we see a shine, but as about it's very natural. But it's very innocent. Pretty girls don't know that plus I say, it's a me and I be Georgia Mujo. Oh, be a good old queen, and me and I be Georgia Mujo. Oh, be a deep and me and I be
Kiki, Verlinda, Terria Mills. Now you can leave me alone. Nana Savon.
But I don't know you are. You may love me too, but you may have someone else. May never damn out. I'm so many ways. Maybe why I'm not so dumb. I'm so much in no be for free. Into me name I come at you. I connect you on time and name. Not drunk or be don't you. Be without them I can't tell me. He said I'm my own social no to me in the Daniel to be. Back cross your sorrow. In the figures of today, it's a be an hobby. Oh, be a good uncle, yeah, be an eye. Be an eye. Georgia, be an eye. Georgia,
me fita crack me a quack when I'm abaha. Me pebesia only couldn't name natana. Into many work a kind of kiss nana pa. Me pedal pack to panaco femina for ma. Into Tassana Shas and that Shas, me who was in my mom so much at the matadi. Got this a wako do. A cuckoo and keep you Fernando Po. And your original easy hard to go. How to go to flow with Sherry Coco. I ain't in it share. Mama Gaba, Bobby Big Free. Mama Nama.
Never been a someone is not for me. I did have him to know. I buy a bomb and I bought a cheap. They have the color style. Never been a someone is not for me. I did have him to know. I buy a bomb and I bought a cheap. They have the color style. Never been a someone is not for me. I did have him to know. I buy a bomb and I bought a cheap. Why have you that I'm going to go? Never been no guy. I'm getting tip, yeah.
Penelope. Penny, I'm expecting a text for you tomorrow, end of the day.
It's off for the money about my wife. Go.
Obi Antony Coalition. Obi Antony Coalition. Yeah, Obi Antony Coalition.
What else?
God, Obi Antony Coalition. Obi Antony Coalition. Obi Antony Coalition. Go.
Memma when they pay and boo a bonfia. I hope a promo yen abu huntia. Or ya what time for Jano Manivia. Yambuamu Amusina Bumpia.
Ube Muano Menina Edi. Nana Yamini Awakano Nebebe Mo. Tawuma Usa Swabi Ponina Tutu. So my body don't lose God. Can't walk home out everybody singing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Everybody singing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Make we sing oh. Oh yeah, 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 hallelujah.
Everybody, let's go.
Menam na metete, menam na metete, anda say oh, menam na metete, menam na metete, anda say oh, Betty, me branda, say oh, Betty, say oh, Betty, Betty, I feel them flippy, men twist it, me whiny and I say me crack it. Akaila suntina, what's your shit? And I say me jaina me sagala. Say oh, anda, say oh, me brass, say oh, Betty, say anda, 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 say oh, Betty,
Aura.
Making you my soulmate. Get this one straight. Say I am married. No matter how them hate, they can tell you anything. Do you anything on the bed. First thing, any money, medicine. You want me everything. No woman to me, you mean everything. My woman. One time for your mind, y'all. I never get the point in the teeth. My woman. One time for your mind, y'all. I never get the point in the teeth. My woman.
Where my ladies at? Where my honey's at? Where my shorty's at? One time for your mind. On the block, yo. 1, 2, 3, bring it on, y'all.
Baby, the things you that do me, they make how they feel. Girl, my heart done there for you, my love not real. I promise on my honor today by your side. I go come tell your mama, say you be my wife. Cause I can be your man, and you can be my girl. I can be your man, you can be my girl. Cause I can be
reminisce. Sometimes when I sit down to reminisce, about the thing we be to do, go, give me a kiss. Now we got more things to do. This be Genesis. I be you feeling it. Now I have to think of it. Now, if you marry me, think about the benefits. Where you go get the love plus the promises. Me, I be your man. I go deliver my services. Now, go see you are too sweet for my comedies. If you my nigga, cute beats, give me melodies. Please, if I go wrong, take apologies. I make you no ball, just make a fool the penalties. Yeah, I don't guys. That be for you, so give me this. If I'm Togo Coco Sue and I'm a Jewody. Well, yeah, the Benian come to with the body with the Kassan. I'm the jealousy. Time changes. What I would have nigga debate. One time for your mind, make you push it up. I mean, you know what I mean. Make a give it up. Actually, so I never give it up. Make a see your candy shop, baby, go show me love. One time for your mind, make you push it up. I mean, you know what I mean. Make a give it up. Actually, so I never give it up. Make a see your candy shop, baby, go show me love.
Baby, the things you that do me, they make how they feel. Girl, my heart done there for you. My love not real. I promise on my honor today by your side. I go come tell your mama I say you be my wife. Cause I can be your man and you can be my girl. I can be your man, you can be my girl. Cause I can be your man and you can be my girl. I can be your man, you can be my girl. Say I like the way you do your dance, like the way you say my name. Especially when you're telling me you love
JT, my man JT. Good to see you here, man. That's what's up.
I know they feel no hating. She know they love no flatting. No way. This is for you and always be true and even when I'm picking at random, you be the one I'll be choosing. You be my right hand one. When you know there, I feel like I'm losing. When you watching me, like the sun is scorching me. When you touching me, they make my dome, they sing this song.
Now, so many people they tell me, make I show you, but I swear, it be you make my dream come true. She like a God, I no go feel never betray you. 10 times I could not make a simple for school. Now, you be my love 110. Or time for me say that you then I'm insane. Which I'm a call, man, not to me, I drink. My tata, watch it, tell me something. Hold on, no, my time, so I will be Timuda to watch him. I come up with a for my yard, for me, about it. I said, from the chick, I made the better when I put out. I send me a deep on the
Me come to them like some kakai. Satawale come like kakai. Forever and ever, I'll be a soldier. Forever and ever, I'll be a leader. Forever and ever, I'll be a teacher. Forever and ever, I'll be a father. Call me your IGP. Salute to me anytime. Yes, I'm master. Call me Duncan Williams. Oh, men sound what I bill. Hallelujah. I don't go think dog you, cause I know say I they love you. I be your father. So we don't waste no time. Money we account every time. More dollar. Ning na boy oh, tago just come and shining kwabo. Chuchu trouser. Mogo kwabo le I know lage dung nebe. Yeah, the border. So me a humble myself. Anyone me step man a down to the earth. Set me see me beat to the girl. So me scared I'm like Hi. That a wale I come like a kite. Hi. That a wale come like a kite. Hi. Me come to them like some kite.